You have $2,100,000. You're standing in the parking lot of a Target, loading bags of dog food and toilet paper into the back of your 2007 Ford Focus. It's a typical Wednesday evening, 6:47 p.m. The sun is setting over the strip mall. You're 44 years old. You've been fixing trucks for 20 years. Grease under your nails every day. You check the time on your phone. You have a dinner meeting with a friend at 7:30 p.m. You decide to grab a coffee first. You drive to the coffee shop, a 3-minute drive. You order a black coffee, no cream, no sugar. You sit down at a small table by the window. You take a sip. You check your phone again. 7:20 p.m. You get up, throw away the cup, and leave. You live in a modest house, a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom in a quiet neighborhood. You've lived there for 10 years. You've never felt the need to upgrade. You have a small backyard, a patio, and a garden. You grow your own tomatoes and herbs. You have a routine. You wake up every morning at 6 a.m. You go for a 30-minute run. You shower, get dressed, and head to work. You fix trucks at a local garage. You've been working there for 15 years. You know everyone in the neighborhood. They know you. You're just a regular guy. You have a 2007 Ford Focus. You've had it for 12 years. You've never thought about replacing it. You've never felt the need to impress anyone. You've always been private about your finances. You don't like to talk about money. You don't like to think about it. You just do what you have to do. You save, you invest, you work hard. You've never been one for fancy things. You don't like luxury cars, expensive watches, or designer clothes. You're happy with what you have. You're happy with who you are. You've realized that money is just a tool. It's a means to an end. It's not the end itself. You've learned to appreciate the freedom that comes with having $2,100,000. You can do what you want, when you want. You can travel, you can pursue your passions, you can help others. You've learned to appreciate the simple things in life. A quiet evening at home, a walk in the park, a good book. You've learned to appreciate the beauty of ordinary life. You've built your wealth over the years, slowly, quietly. You've made smart decisions, boring decisions. You've invested in a diversified portfolio, a mix of stocks, bonds, and real estate. You've avoided get-rich-quick schemes, you've avoided debt. You've lived below your means, you've saved, you've invested. You've compounded your wealth over time. You've taken advantage of tax-advantaged accounts, 401, IRA, Roth IRA. You've maxed out your contributions every year. You've taken advantage of employer matching. You've invested in yourself, you've learned new skills, you've read books, you've attended seminars. You've networked, you've made connections, you've built relationships. You've been patient, you've been disciplined, you've been consistent. You remember the first year, the grind, the sacrifices. You were 24 years old, you were working 2 jobs, you were saving every penny. You were living in a small apartment, you were eating ramen noodles every day. You were determined to build a better life. You were determined to succeed. You were reading books on investing, you were learning about the stock market, you were learning about real estate. You were making mistakes, you were learning from them. You were persevering, you were pushing forward. You were focused on your goals, you were focused on your vision. You were 25 years old, you had $10,000 in savings. You were 26 years old, you had $20,000. You were 27 years old, you had $30,000. You were making progress, you were making strides. You remember the 5th year, the snowball effect. You were 29 years old, you had $2,100,000 in savings. You were investing in the stock market, you were investing in real estate. You were making more money, you were saving more money. You were living in a bigger apartment, you were eating better food. You were traveling, you were exploring new places. You were meeting new people, you were making new friends. You were learning new skills, you were pursuing new passions. You were 30 years old, you had $2,100,000. You were 31 years old, you had $2,100,000. You were 32 years old, you had $2,100,000. You were making significant progress, you were making significant strides. You remember the 10th year, the milestone. You were 34 years old, you had $2,100,000. You were living in a house, you were driving the same 2007 Ford Focus. You were still working at the garage, you were still fixing trucks. You were still investing, you were still saving. You were still living below your means, you were still avoiding debt. You were still focused on your goals, you were still focused on your vision. You were 35 years old, you had $2,100,000. You were 36 years old, you had $2,100,000. You were 37 years old, you had $2,100,000. You were 38 years old, you had $2,100,000. You were 39 years old, you had $2,100,000. You were 40 years old, you had $2,100,000. You were 41 years old, you had $2,100,000. You were still the same person, you were still the same guy. You were still fixing trucks, you were still driving the 2007 Ford Focus. You were still shopping at Target, you were still eating at the same coffee shop. You realized that nobody knows about your wealth. Your friends, your family, your neighbors. They all think you're just a regular guy. They all think you're just a truck mechanic. They have no idea that you have $2,100,000. You like it that way. You prefer to keep a low profile. You prefer to avoid attention. You prefer to live a simple life. You're happy with who you are, you're happy with what you have. You're grateful for the freedom that comes with having $2,100,000. You're grateful for the opportunities that you have. You're grateful for the life that you live. If this story resonated with you, subscribe. I post a new story every single day. If you want to start investing today, the Robinhood link is in the description, it comes with a free stock. And if you want the weekly letter, the Quiet Wealth Letter, that link is there too. See you tomorrow. You wake up every morning at 5 a.m. before the sun rises and head to the gym. You've been doing this for years, and it's become a ritual. You like the quiet, the solitude, and the feeling of being awake before the rest of the world. You spend an hour lifting weights, focusing on your form, and pushing yourself to new limits. Afterward, you shower and head to the coffee shop, where you order a large black coffee and sit in the corner, reading the news. Your friends and family often ask you why you still work as a truck mechanic, given your financial situation. You tell them it's because you enjoy it, because you like working with your hands, and because you like the sense of satisfaction that comes with fixing something. They don't fully understand, but they respect your decision. You're content with your simple life, and you see no need to change it. You've always been frugal, and you continue to be. You still buy your clothes at Target, and you still eat at the same coffee shop. You don't see the point in spending money on expensive things, just to impress others. You'd rather save your money, and use it to invest in things that will generate more wealth. You've invested in a few rental properties, and you've also invested in a small business, a local car wash. You like the idea of creating jobs, and contributing to the local economy. You've also started volunteering at a local charity, one that helps underprivileged kids. You've always been passionate about giving back, and you feel fortunate to be in a position to do so. You spend a few hours every week, mentoring kids, and helping them with their homework. You enjoy watching them learn and grow, and you feel a sense of purpose. You've never been one for fancy cars or luxury items. You still drive your 2007 Ford Focus, and you're happy with it. You've taken good care of it, and it's still running smoothly. You see no need to upgrade, just to keep up with the latest trends. You'd rather put your money to better use and invest in things that will appreciate in value. You've always been private, and you prefer to keep your personal life out of the spotlight. You don't like to draw attention to yourself, and you avoid talking about your wealth. You're happy to just blend in and be a regular guy. You enjoy the anonymity and the freedom that comes with it. You can go anywhere and do anything without being recognized. You like the feeling of being able to move freely without being bothered. You've started to think about your long-term goals and what you want to achieve. You've always been interested in real estate, and you're considering investing in a larger property, maybe a small apartment complex. You've been doing your research, and you're learning as much as you can about the market. You're excited about the possibilities, and you're looking forward to the challenge. You've also started to think about your health and how you can improve it. You've always been active, but you know that you need to take better care of yourself. You've started eating healthier, and you're trying to get more sleep. You've also started to prioritize your mental health, and you're making time for meditation and relaxation. You know that your health is your most valuable asset, and you're determined to protect it. You've never been one for traveling, but you're starting to think about taking a trip. You've always been fascinated by history, and you're considering visiting some of the ancient ruins in Europe. You've been reading about the different cultures, and you're excited to learn more. You're looking forward to immersing yourself in a new environment and experiencing new things. You've started to think about your relationships and how you can nurture them. You've always been close to your family, and you're making an effort to spend more time with them. You're also trying to reconnect with old friends and make new ones. You know that relationships are important, and you're willing to put in the work to maintain them. You're grateful for the people in your life, and you're looking forward to creating new memories with them. You've always been curious, and you're always looking to learn new things. You've started taking online courses, and you're exploring new interests. You're fascinated by technology, and you're learning to code. You're excited about the possibilities, and you're looking forward to applying your new skills. You know that learning is a lifelong process, and you're committed to continuous improvement. You've started to think about your community and how you can give back. You've always been passionate about helping others, and you're looking for ways to make a positive impact. You've started volunteering at a local soup kitchen, and you're helping to serve meals to those in need. You're grateful for the opportunity to make a difference, and you're looking forward to continuing your work. You've never been one for fancy parties or luxury events. You prefer to keep things simple and low-key. You'd rather spend time with close friends and family than attend some extravagant party. You're happy with your quiet life, and you see no need to change it. You're content with who you are and what you have. You're grateful for the freedom and the opportunities that you have. You've started to think about your legacy and what you want to leave behind. You've always been interested in history, and you're considering writing a book about your life. You've been keeping a journal, and you're documenting your experiences. You're excited about the possibility of sharing your story and inspiring others. You know that your legacy is important, and you're determined to make a positive impact. You've always been humble, and you prefer to keep a low profile. You're happy to just blend in and be a regular guy. You enjoy the anonymity and the freedom that comes with it. You can go anywhere and do anything without being recognized. You like the feeling of being able to move freely without being bothered. You're grateful for the simple life, and you're looking forward to continuing on your path.